but then in screen I feel like it's very much your eyes. That's like where generally all my energy and my emotion and my feelings, I try and somehow focus it through the eyes. Whereas on stage, that can, if you're just focusing out of your eyes, because in a close, I mean, it depends also, you know, whether shooting wide or, but also on stage, if it's not coming out of your fingers and your hands and your feet and everything, then it's not going to work.
So too flat.
It's going to be too flat. It's going to be boring. It's not going to be dynamic enough. It's not going to have enough energy. It's not going to reach the back. It's got to come out of your voice as well. You can whisper on camera and you can talk. You can speak just on the edge of your vocal cords and you'll be fine. But on stage, people have to hear you. So there are these boxes you have to tick.
Yes. But that's a lovely challenge, being being very emotional on stage and yet still allowing the back row to hear you.
That's right.
Touching, the people in the front row just as much.
Yeah, and because I'm lazy, I prefer screen. So I just sit on a chair and just bubble everything up and just spew it out of my eyes. If I get it right. No, that's not true.
There was a good atmosphere on the shoot. So I heard that Peter Andrikidis is very caring with his actors and spend quite a lot of time guiding them. What was the experience working with Peter?
Well, funny you've heard that he's a caring individual because he pretty much turned me into a stunt driver on set with these guys in the car. So
we were just standby passengers.
I felt like I was in the middle between Peter telling me to go quicker, brake quicker, turn quicker, and try and burn out and skid and all the stuff that a professional stunt driver has been trained and paid to do. And these guys in the back of the car being the mum going, Richie, it's okay. You don't have to go too quick. They can speed it up. They have tricks in the industry.
I love Peter Andrikidis. He's a lot of his direction is, speak faster, go faster, do that faster. Okay. What he does is, I think he casts people in the roles really well. So, I'm talking about everybody else as well.
And you're the only one that was missing.
Maybe I was
missing.
But he allows the people that he knows. He knows what people can do, and then he just encourages us to all kind of get out of our own way, to just drop all that sort of acting crap and just move out of your own way and allow the script and the emotion of the scene to just carry you through. And I've worked with him many times now on television stuff, and Peter is an award-winning director, and the show that he did with Joe Pickering, who also is the DOP on Alex and Eve, East West 101. That won the
they worked together for many years, I think 20 years together, I think, with the DOP.
More than that probably. Almost 30, I think. They met at film school. Okay. But that show won Best Drama 3 years in a row. And it's, Joseph Pickering he's made this look absolutely beautiful, as has Marty Smith, the other camera. But Peter is just a great person to work with.
He's really good. And he gave us a lot of opportunity to explore dynamically, in terms of the range of. It's hard to know when you're shooting something. Well, for me personally, it's hard to know how they're going to edit it and how quick they want each scene, how they're going to, how they're going to kind of negotiate.
And we don't have the overview, and that's what he's excellent at. And he'll push you to ramp something up, as he did with me, for instance.
And I like that direction because I'm like, great, I can do something quicker. But sometimes when directors try and they stand there and they tell you about this whole backstory, and then by the end of their 5 to 10 minute spiel, I'm like, what do you want me to do different? Whereas he's like, you're too slow, you need to be quicker. You're too...
Or amp up the
emotion, we need more... exactly. And then we work out how we're going to make it happen. Yeah. But it's really nice to have clear, concise direction.
Yeah. Neil Thurston, who edited it, has done a beautiful job on that too. Peter really pushes you to do things, pushes me anyway, to do stuff that I might not try by myself. And I'm so glad. Choking? Oh, don't spoil it, but
She has a joke.
But stuff that he encouraged me to try, ordered me to try actually.
I think as a human and as an actor, especially an artist, we have resistance to other people's opinions on our art because it's a personal thing, especially with acting, because it's you. So when someone's like, that's too indulgent, or that's too emotional, or you're not you don't look like you love her enough. It's like it's hard not to go, oh, but I thought I was, or I was trying, you know.
Yeah.
But an outside eye, no matter what it is, often or where it comes from, but especially if it comes from someone with as much experience as Peter in the industry, you just got to trust that. If anything, the edit improved the comedy. It was edited in the same energy as it was delivered on the day. You know what I mean? And when it wasn't delivered like that, the editor got in there and they made it like that. And sometimes everyone's timing isn't so good, especially mine. And the editor just made it look good. And then we come off like we got the best timing in the world. But it's the editor who's going, I'm going to chop away this 3 seconds in between this joke and it's going to come straight in.
Did you have a lot of a rehearsal process, or you jump pretty quickly in the shooting?
I mean, with most films, one doesn't get a lot of rehearsal. I remember, when I was playing lead roles in films years ago, we'd get maybe 2 weeks was the longest. That is a long time, isn't it, for rehearsal?
I feel like that's for a theatre piece. Very intense on the caffeine, and Andrea and I and Peter read through all our scenes, and we were really just familiarising ourselves with it. He was just letting us know about the tone, where he wanted to shoot for in terms of energy levels, volume levels. You know what I mean? Making sure everyone was on the same page.
Yeah. We're making about the locations too. In some instances, and saying, look, there's a long hallway here, so I'd probably like to bring this dialogue down that hallway on a camera, on a moving camera, and then bring you round into the lounge room. And Peter does like to do that with Joseph Pickering. They band together to jump 3 or 4 scenes together. So you can't necessarily just think, I'll just learn that one scene because I think that's all we're shooting today. Then I'll have time to learn the next one, because you get to set and they go, right, we're shooting all these scenes together. So, okay, we're bringing you out from the car into the house, through the kitchen, out the back door, and you'll be at the neighbour's fence.
Exactly. And Andrea and I got along really well straight up. We're kind of similar and both joke around a lot and have the same kind of energy level. Yep.
So what's your creating process to get into your trick, apart from the coffee?
Exactly.
To get into a real love feeling.
It's a real love feeling. For me, it's about, first of all, clearing your mind from how you're feeling about maybe you've got a partner or someone you love at the moment, and it's about having enough focus to forget about that temporarily. And I find things in her that get me going, that excite me, that make me feel passionate towards her. Some specific things about her that I can connect to.
Is it the
not so much substitution for me? I don't. Well,
you use somebody else in your real life or in your past life?
Yeah, no, I don't do that. For me, I try and get as realistic as possible in the moment. So even if I really dislike a person, there's always one thing about them where I can focus on that I can love. Like it could be anything. It could be their laugh. It could be one of their eyes just sparkles, or something that gets me personally. Which would be different for someone else. Just one. Maybe you're a pirate.
The other one's like
This is when I did Pirates of the Caribbean. So I find that, and then if there's things about their personality that I don't like, I forget about it. So it's learning about like what to let in and what to close off to, and then I did. Now with Andrea, it was easy because there's a lot of things. She's very likable. She's very beautiful. She's very talented. She's smart. So that's a no-brainer. It's not always that easy though. So for her, I think she had really beautiful eyes. She had a great sense of humour, and I really respected that. So I'll let that in. I'll let that affect me. Also, you got to develop a chemistry over the arc of the film. So that's how sometimes you got to discover those things on camera, and that can be really fun too. Is starting the scene not in that headspace, and then pointing out parts in the scene where you're gonna look at her eyes, but you don't have the feeling yet. So I block in an action where I'm going to look in her eyes, and then I know by looking in her eyes, it's going to make me feel a certain way. So it's like kind of setting up signposts.
Usually, you have a different way to create characters or create the connections between characters.
I think I work similarly to Richard, and I remember.
You taught him.
Well, exactly.
We haven't specifically had a lesson on love scenes, but I remember the dim, dark days of love scenes that I used to do, because I don't really get that many years at my age.
Love has no age.
I know, no, but
Did you
it's
have
a
to
different
find
sort of, it's a different sort of love. But yeah, I focus on whoever's actually in front of me, even if they are somebody that I'm not even getting on with.
It's also the actor. You focus on the real actor,
On
not
the
the
real actor,
character.
not substitute. Yeah, I don't sort of think, oh, this is my, this is my husband, because that gets in the way for me. It's like, oh, hang on, now I'm at home with John. It's like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, even you can always find something about somebody that.
It could be the opposite. Sometimes you have to find the hate for somebody.
Well, yeah, I mean, when
Is
you
it
got
easier?
that, yeah, when you
Exactly.
got
No,
that,
it's so true.
yeah, and yeah, I mean,
And depending on the person, I think some people find it easier to hate things, and some
Oh,
people
yeah.
find it easier to love.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think for me to hate someone in general is more difficult. So for me, I have to work harder and do more preparation if I need to be angry at someone than if I need to love them. But I think everyone's different. Some people are more open to those feelings than I am, so it requires less work for them. That's why it's such a personal thing.
it is, yeah. But with Tony Nikolakopoulos, who plays my husband in the film,
Tony Pico.
Richard's
That's
father
what I-
in the film. Yeah, we've been married on screen
Many
4
times.
times now,
Okay.
and this one is probably our most successful marriage, our longest
Yeah.
marriage.
But each time is a different story, a different
Oh, totally.
couple
But-
dynamic.
Yeah, it is, and but it's funny. That we must look like a very believable couple because people keep casting us.
Right.
Although he recently was on screen unfaithful to me with my sister. He played
How
Gia's
dare you.
husband in a film that they did last year. Yeah.
What's that film?
That is Joe Cinque's Consolation, which is based on Helen Garner's novel.
Oh,
Anyway.
yes.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Not Consolation, that's all.
Oh, whoops.
Sorry. Anyway, I brought it up.
We publicise everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for this time. I think it was great to hear from you and
Thank you.
to learn also as actors how to progress.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks.